I'm at a restaurant called Soto Betawi Haji Hussein, and this is a legendary restaurant for eating a dish called Soto Betawi, which is a soup that it originates from right here in Jakarta. This is a really packed out restaurant, and it's kind of a shop house style. I wanted to get the seats up at the front. They have a couple bar counter seating where you can watch them cooking and eat right there, but the seats are all packed, so we are back here in kind of the middle of the restaurant. It is a little bit stuffy in here, but it's a great environment and it's full, lots of people, and I'm just starting off with a cup of tea. Maybe that's jasmine. It has a floral taste to it. In Indonesia, soto is a general term that means a number or many different types of soup, and every region of Indonesia has their own version of soto. And then Betawi is actually the original group from the Jakarta region of Indonesia. So Soto Betawi is the soup from this region of Indonesia right here in Jakarta. So when you're in Jakarta, Soto Betawi is a dish that you have to try, and this will be my first time to try it. And I got also a plate of rice, steamed rice, and then it's topped with a sprinkle of crispy shallots. And then here is the bowl of soto. It is very creamy and thick and rich looking. And you can see that kind of butteriness on the top, I think from coconut milk. And then I think it's beef as well as, I'm not sure what that is. And then it is yellowish in color with some green onions in it as well. Let me just taste some of that soup real fast. Oh, that is wonderful. It's a little bit creamy, but not too overly rich. What can you taste? I think it's lemongrass and maybe galangal in there. It tastes very similar to Thai style tom kha gai, but maybe with the addition of some turmeric in there to make it yellow. Oh yeah, that's really good. Okay, but what I'm gonna do to enhance it even more is go in for some of this sambal, some of this chili sauce. Oh yeah. So the soup is not spicy at all, but it's just really fragrant. You can taste that lemongrass and the galangal in there, but with some extra chilies, it will be even better. Another awesome thing about this restaurant, there is a giant bucket or Tupperware full of pickles, and there are chilies and shallots and carrots and cucumbers in here. I love this medley, colorful medley, and what I see other people doing is putting some of this on the rice, not in the soup. Oh yeah, I'm going for some of those chilies. Oh yes, some chilies. Let me grab another spoonful of that. It looks like it's vinegary, but I'm not totally sure. Okay, that should be good. Should be good for now. Oh man, this is so good. And I'm gonna put some of this beef onto my rice next and mix it in with those shallots. Let me get one of those peppers as well and some of those pickles. Oh, that is wonderful. Oh, that beef. The beef is nice and tender. And then it almost tastes like it's a little bit dried out. Like it's half jerky beef, but really tender. And then that soup is insane. What I like about it is it's rich and creamy, but not over the top rich and creamy. So you can eat it and it's kind of light, and that little chili was really good as well. That provides some nice heat for sure. I'm gonna put that here. Oh yeah, these chilies definitely have a little bit of a kick to them. And follow that with a bite of the soup. That's marvelous. All those chilies are amazing too. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more of that sambal onto my rice this time. All right, maybe a little bit more. And then going again with that. Actually, let me add some more of that soup to the rice. Just drown it out. That sambal is also incredibly good. It is a little bit sour, and It has a little bit of a, I think it might be fermented soybeans in there as well, because it has a little bit of a salty cheese flavor, which is also really, really good with that rice. It actually is not as spicy as it looks, but those little chilies, maybe they're bird's eye chilies, those are where heat is coming from. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out what these little pieces of white things are. I'm not sure. It tastes almost like little pieces of roti, which are added there. Definitely kind of doughy. Let me add some more of these. These chilies are amazing. That is so awesomely good. Amazing. Really, truly an amazing dish. I just finished that first bowl of Soto Betawi. That is outrageously good. And I am sweating out of control right now from the combination of the hot soup, the chilies, and there's not a whole lot of airflow in here. I love this atmosphere. This is one of those dishes, and this is one of those restaurants that it would nearly be impossible to stop at one bowl. It's so good, and you finish it so quickly without even knowing it, that you actually have to order another bowl. And I think I would congratulate you if you had the ability to just stop at one bowl. Yeah, there's nothing I could do from ordering another bowl. Oh man, it's just, and here actually you can now see, oh, those pieces of dough are the crackers. But when they get into the soup, they turn completely different texture, so they have no crispiness. They're just kind of like pieces of floating dough. Oh, okay, I didn't realize that at first, but now it's much easier to see, I think. Okay, add some of this to my rice. Add some of that. It's so fragrantly good and just perfect flavor. This sambal is also awesomely delicious. And then some more of those pickles. And actually, these pickles are not very sour, but it's just kind of a very light pickle. But I love the crispness of these vegetables. And that gives it, also those little shallots are really good too, but it just gives it the whole kind of fresh, crunchy finish with the beef and the soup, the creamy soup. Equally as good as the first bowl. I'm just dripping with sweat. And I'm loving every single bite at this restaurant. Finished with that soto. I loved every single bite of it. The beef was tender, and then with those pickles, the sambal, the entire meal added up to be unbelievably delicious. That was my first bowl of soto Jakarta style, and I feel like a much better person after eating it. Eastern Jakarta, and we are sitting down at a restaurant called Mac Dower, which serves Betawi food. And Betawi is the people which are from right here in Jakarta on the island of Java. So this is kind of native Jakartan food. A couple of days ago I was reading an article in the Jakarta Globe about Betawi food and how there are a couple of very well-known dishes like Soto Betawi, but other dishes from Betawi have sort of been overpowered by other cuisines from around Indonesia, which are very popular in Jakarta. And Betawi food is sometimes not always given the light that it deserves. And so I was researching, trying to find a place to try Betawi food. I came across this place, and so I am happy to try a full range of Betawi food. The full spread of the feast has just arrived. Ying and I ordered quite a few dishes for us too, but it all looks really, really good. This is one of their signature dishes here, which is a soup called sayur asem, and it's a sour soup just filled with vegetables. There are pieces of corn in here. Is that some kind of a melon or potato? Melon, I think. And then there are green beans in here. There are leaves. There are, I don't see any meat. I think it's, and then, oh yeah, tamarind. The main flavor that gives this soup its sourness is tamarind. So let me just taste that broth. Yes, that is sour, and it has kind of a tomato-y sweetness to it as well. I think just a vegetable sweetness, and then salty and sour. Oh yeah, it's really good. Yeah, that's a really nice flavor. This one is a squid dish that we ordered. So there are pieces of squid, there's some tomatoes in here, looks like lots of shallots, and I'm not sure what else. Onto my rice. That is a little bit salty, but the flavor is really good. The squid is really tender, and then you can taste the tomatoes and chilies in there, plus some kind of an herb. And then also what's really strong in there is garlic. I think there are just like whole cloves of garlic spread throughout this entire dish. Look at that. That's just cloves of garlic. And then the squid is really tender. It is a little bit salty, but that garlicky flavor is wonderful. That's like a sauce of just pure, pureed garlic. This one is a dish of stink beans, and I think it's just straight up deep fried crispy shallots. So this is a dry kind of fried dish of just, yeah, almost pure shallots. There's some chilies in here as well, and then stink beans. What a combination. Oh yeah. Those crispy shallots, they're sliced really thin and then deep fried to crispy. And so you can really taste the caramelized onion flavor of them. And then the stink beans are also strong in flavor, unique flavor, which give the whole dish, which give a twist to the salty fried shallots. But that's kind of an interesting dish. It's not saucy at all. It's just like texture and fragrance, all, and that's it. Crispy shallots are a big part of Betawi cuisine, and so I ordered another fish, and it just came just smothered in deep fried shallots as well. I'm gonna try to take off some of this. Yeah, I think the whole fish is deep fried, and then just shallots are all over it. Shallots, deep fried shallots, they make anything taste good. And those shallots are crispy and salty. And then the fish is also just deep fried, so it's crispy on the edges and a little bit kind of dry meat on the inside. And then for this bite, I'm gonna go in for some of that sambal chili sauce. I'm not totally sure, but it looks like there's two different types. This one looks more tomato-y, and then this one looks more red. Maybe I'll get a combination of both of them. Okay. That sambal is actually quite spicy and a little bit tomato-y in fragrance. And then it also has a little bit of a sour taste as well. Oh man, that's really good because the fish is not spicy at all. All it is a deep fried fish with salty, crispy shallots. Then adding some of that chili just brings it to the next level. And I saved the best dish for last, which is Jengkol beans. And these are kind of like stink beans, but they are bigger and stronger and more pungent, and they are kind of flattened out here and then mixed with a lot of sambal chili sauce, and there are whole chilies in here as well. It looks like there are some kaffir lime leaves and maybe some garlic. A lot of things going on, and this looks superb. Put that on, add a bit more of that sambal over it. Okay, that's the dish of the meal. When Jengkol beans are raw, they are very, very crisp and very firm. But when they are cooked like this, they are kind of gummy in texture. They're kind of like little discs of really gummy textured potato. And then that sambal is just filled with chilies and garlic. You can taste the herbs in there. You can taste a little bit of a like chili sweetness to it. And that's That's just stunning. I eat Jengkol beans quite frequently in Thailand, but normally they are only eaten raw, kind of as a side garnishing vegetable. So it is very interesting to have them cooked, and that kind of gives them a complete new dimension and kind of a whole entirely different ingredient. Lastly, I could not come to this restaurant without ordering an entire pod of stink bean. This one is Petay goreng, which are deep fried stink beans, and it's just the entire pod. Sometimes it's in English it's called twisted pod or twisted bean, cluster bean, because it comes kind of twisted like this on the tree. And I like to think of these as just jungle pods of just filled with vitamins. And so they have deep fried this entire pod, and then they just slice them so that you can pick them out really easily. Stink beans don't get old for me. I have been eating stink beans for years, and I can never overcome how delicious and unique and just flavorful they are. I don't even know what it is, but it's like maybe it's the crispness paired with the strong, pungent flavor that always makes me happy. And actually, I have done quite a lot of reading about stink beans because of my stink bean obsession, and they're one of those superfoods that has a never-ending list of health benefits. One of the benefits that I really like about them, though, is that they are sometimes used for treating depression, and I think that they work so well for curing depression because as soon as you taste one of these, you seriously cannot help but just smile and be happy. That's just pure happy vitamins. Any meal where I can eat both stink beans and Jengkol in one meal, I am very, very happy. And so I'm very, very happy right now. The Jengkol dish in particular was my favorite of the entire meal. That was superb.
Something like warung madura, it means blah 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 blah.
The owner saw us eating and making a video, and we just talked with him. He's really nice. And something interesting about this restaurant, he told us about the name, which is called Warung Mak Doer. And Warung is like a local family restaurant. Mak means mother, and then Doer means, he explained to me kind of like the lip, maybe the lower lip, and like this, and made a motion like this. And he said because when you eat the food, because it's so spicy and flavorful, it will make your lip kind of like outward turn because of all the flavor. And so, yeah, definitely the food was extremely flavorful. There are so many flavors still lingering within my mouth. That was a great meal. Thank you all for watching this video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And also make sure you click subscribe if you're not already for lots more food.